than today. I mean, it's just amazing. But anyway, so we had this consolidation, pattern right here. So we had about four, inside weeks, but actually almost a double inside week here, but just kind of crossed above, and then we popped out last week with this pattern right here. So what do we do with a gap up, right? So here's all that consolidation mess. Like, I mean, this is just a mess. Up, down, gaps everywhere. Up, tweets, this, that. Whoa, and then we kind of got through it. And then, a couple days ago, we had this beautiful hammer coming out of the cloud. I had a beautiful day yesterday, right? Nice follow through, nice trades, good stuff. Okay, and so here we've just basically put in a doji today, right? And so this doji was just, we'll take a look at the price action here in a second, but could be interesting, right? We're at the upper Bollinger Band here on the daily chart. We're not overextended or anything like that on the RSI, or overbought on the RSI. So it's kind of interesting to see where we are. I'm surprised we didn't plow through, on some of these days where we put in like 92-point ranges, right? You would think that today's high, it being 30, 20, 74, that we would at least get an extra 7 points to put in an all-time high today, but I guess it just wasn't in the card. So it rejected off of it pretty quickly. We'll take a look at the price action here in a second. Here's the in fact, here's the 5-minute chart. Let me pull up today's levels. These are the levels that we tweet out to subscribers so they can see these levels that we like to use. Okay, so today, here's the price action. So today we gap up, right, and then we fade, but we don't fade all the way, right? So we came back basically like really, really close to like yesterday's high, right? But just couldn't quite fill the gap, right? So we left a little bit of an open gap below, which is kind of interesting going into tomorrow, and so we fade that there, and then we have a big push up. This bar right here was basically them saying, there's some tweet or something saying that, hey, we're gonna, have a deal with China in a couple weeks, or we're gonna, delay tariffs or whatever, right? So it gives this big up move, but then it was suspicious, right? Because you had a topping tail right here. It wasn't like let's do this, right? See this topping tail right here. Then another topping tail, then another topping tail, and then an inside bar, okay, and then a topping tail, right? So I mean, nothing was confirming today, right? So that was really the kind of the crazy price action, right? So and then we had this inside bar right here, and they took that inside bar down, just like that, right? So, tricky, right? Because we would rather have seen, other than that, we would like to have seen some sort of confirming bar other than the inside bar, right? Because that could have, it did try to break the upside as well. So very, very tricky stuff. And then that came down, right? Couldn't get to those levels, right? So you had a bottoming tail right there. So, then an inside bar there, and it's like you tried to short that. You can't do it, right? Then you have this hammer right here. I mean, just really, really tricky stuff today. Today was a great day to, to kind of sideline a little bit. But this was amazing right here, right? So we had this topping tail here, tried to break out again here, tried to break out again here, topping tail. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So, I mean, whenever you see this, guys, we see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Chances are it is going to go down, right? So I'm not surprised that we pushed down in the close, right? So I mean, that is just the price just was just rejecting all these levels, right? We had R2 right here, R1 right here. That's a monthly level right there, and then that's then we got the flush into the close. Okay, so that's just kind of like just kind of getting into that price action there a little bit. All right. So good. So yeah, so let's take a look at something that was tradable today, and it was slim pickings. So one thing you can always look at, right, is your Dow, your Dow Jones Industrial Average, right, and just kind of see this is 30 of the, kind of the biggest stocks, right, in their industries, right. So it's always, a good place to look, for potential setups and kind of see what's going on, right. So it's a nice easy list. So when you look here, you go to, anytime you see this kind of chop during let's go to McDonald's here. So let's talk about McDonald's today. So anytime you see this kind of like consolidated move, right, where things are really getting choppy, right, or you're seeing a triangle form, right, like this, right, you kind of see this forming it today, like really, really tight range type stuff. Chances are, right, on a higher time frame, there's an inside bar going on, right? So we've talked about that before, right? And so let's take a look at that. So let's check this out on the 15 and see what this did. Okay, and actually let me edit those studies again and add the inside bar on there. 1 second. Here, okay. So you can see it a little bit easier, right? So here on the 15, we saw a double inside 15, right? So it's kind of like at these levels, right? And then an inside 15 took it down, right? So that's good, that's possible, but really, really tricky, right? Look how this kind of went through the cloud too. Isn't that amazing? All right, so we have that, and then we have the let's check out the 30-minute chart. Oh, triple inside 30 within the cloud. Okay, so triple inside 30 down, right? And here's the kicker right here. Triple inside 60. So that is the move right there. Now, again, as you guys know, anybody who's been following me for a long time, when I trade the 60-minute chart, I like to use the VWAP. right? I like to have the VWAP on there as a guide, but a rule breaker, right? So I like to go long over the VWAP and short under it. A rule breaker on this is this, right? When you have a triple inside 60. That's why, I don't know if anybody was following me today on the public Twitter, I said Apple, triple inside 60 in the works, right? So you go Apple. Here it didn't quite do it, right? So it started to, right? So you had your double inside 60. Ultimately, it gave it, it tried to take the upside, then once it got out of the VWAP, it went down, right? So that's pretty good, a double inside 60. But when you find a triple, from contraction, right? Expansion comes from contraction, right? So that's kind of what we see a lot, right? So let's take a look at that here and see how that kind of set up, right? So here we go. So the first inside 60 right here, second one here, okay? And then the third one here, once it broke down that level, right? It was at least a short to the VWAP, right? So that was 213 and 50 cents all the way to so a nice 50-cent move on McDonald's, right? And then it gave one more flush down, right, to 212, so almost a $1.50 move off of that triple inside 60 breakdown, right? And then it's just a great setup, right? It's very rare, and when you see something like that, usually you get a move. And we've talked about it before on SPX, and I think only recently we've seen a quadruple inside 60 on SPX, and ultimately that led to a vast move down in the market. So if I can just kind of pull that up real quick here. See if I can find it. It was a couple weeks ago. It might have been even longer than this. Give me 1 second. Let's go. Maybe it was 1 month ago. There, right there. Quadruple inside 60. This was August 13th, so just about a month ago. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then look what happened as it broke down. Right, you had this huge move down. This is a pretty good swing opportunity on that. So it just shows that this price was really doing some discovery in this area, and you can see it was actually hit a couple times here, right? So these levels were rejected, right, and then kind of pushed back down, right? Even tested, back down, right? You can even, you see how important that level is here, and then it finally broke out here, right? And then worked its way up. So that you could tell that those levels of price, when you have this type of consolidation, how important it is. And so when you see that on intraday time frame, it's it's day tradable, right? You day trade it, and so that's what McDonald's gave us today. So very rare situation, right? Even here was a double inside 60, which broke down and gave this big move here. Here was your triple inside 60, which broke down, right? And it kind of worked its way that way, right? Here's a double inside 60 that worked its way up. Here was a double that worked its way up. Here's a double worked its way down, right? So, but other than that, here's a triple that worked its way down. So very possible that we get some follow through into tomorrow on this one. So it's definitely one to keep an eye on. And in fact, it's good enough that we will put it on the watch list for tomorrow as a potential short. So that's that. That's all I have to talk about. The triple inside 60. You gotta love it. And don't forget, guys, tomorrow is Friday, which means it's option expiration day. So if you guys have Robinhood, obviously you can only trade next week's options. But if you don't, just be careful you don't get stuck in something that you don't want to get assigned, right? So that is what we got there. All right, good stuff. Well, I hope everybody's doing well. At this point, if anybody's got questions or chart requests, feel free to plug those into the chat window. Looks like I just got an email in from Shirley, so let me get her stocks in here too. So just give me 1 second here, guys. CMCSA, EWZ, GGB, OSTK, BX, ARDX, and MDT. Okay. Get those in. Oh, and just a quick reminder for everybody, we do have a special this Sunday. I'm gonna be the special guest on somebody else's show. I'm gonna be on the Trend Spider webinar, and so we're gonna be taking a look at some of those the raindrop chart. The raindrop charts to help find some good options trades. So please make sure you guys sign up to that. The link, I'll retweet the link out later, but definitely check that out. On Sunday, it'll be at 6 p.m. Eastern time, 4 p.m. Mountain time. So good stuff. Sip of water. All right, Harvey, how's it going? Good to see you. Alpesh, hello. Experience and thoughts. Hello, good evening. Eric, how's it going? Good evening. Max, what's up? Experience and thoughts. SPY, double top. Maybe. Possibly. We'll see. Right, it just has to prove itself. We have, basically we're all time, we're pretty close to these. Is that actually for, did SPY put in an all-time high today? I guess it did. Well, SPX did not. That is really interesting. Yeah, prior is 302.23, beat it by 23 cents. So that is interesting. Yeah. So now that it's hit the high, yeah, we could see that rejected and could see a move down. I'm not saying it's going to be as sharp as this move down, but we might start seeing like a little bit of a wave pattern down. So could be interesting. Right, so I mean, wave count here: 1, 2, 3, maybe a wave 4 down, and then a 5 back up. So we could see that as well. So yeah, good stuff. Experience that you bought 2 puts for October 2nd. Nice on the SPY 300 strike. LOL. There you go. Yeah, but pretty good probability that it'll be in the money by then. So that should be good. Nice job. Good stuff. Sarah, good evening. Hope you're doing well. Ashutosh, how's it going? Good evening. Match. Yeah, Match.com. Yeah, let's take a look. Match is setting up pretty good, guys. It's almost. I mean, it almost seems ready, right? So, I mean, it might start working its way back up here. We had this big gap up, and it's kind of been chopping around. The only thing I've had to say about this is the way Match does like to behave generally. It's like this. So we really need. To get above, yesterday's high, and then we have a little bit of resistance right here with the cloud and all that stuff. But if we can get back above that, it might start to work its way back up again. So just kind of keep that one in mind. SMDC4S. Clone oscillator plus 143. Ooh, getting a little overextended, so that's good. NetBri, good evening. Session, ALGN. ALGN. Session. Let's take a look. Move ALGN. All right. So, wow, big nasty gap down last time, so let's kind of just see what we could see here. So we have the recent lows there. I mean, even if we went here, there's the lows. I mean, it could be working on a little something here, right? I mean, in general, right? I mean, kind of the macro trend lines are still down, right? But it could be a little bump and run. It could continue. If it breaks over today's highs, right, it could be your minor pivot, right? So just kind of look at that. Otherwise, it could come back down and test that trend line there. NOC, Northrop Grumman. Oh yeah, look at that, pretty strong. Almost gave a Morningstar reversal, right? If that could reclaim 50% of this range right here, but it looks like over 2 days it's kind of done that. So a little bit of a hammer here. Just be careful. It might get a little exhausted right there, kind of test and then go back up. But yeah, Northrop Grumman looking pretty strong there. That looks good. Lulu, you know me and Lulu. So challenging. The shadows are stretchy like the pants, right? So upper shadow, very, very difficult to swing trade. It just is, right? But occasionally, right, you can get a nice move like on a gap up or some news. So so just be careful with that, right? So a little spinning top right there could be challenging. Costco, really looking for a buy the dip opportunity in Costco, and they're trying to bring it down as much as they can before earnings, which is interesting. They're gonna probably talk up this is the day, right? It gapped up on the China store news, right? So I mean, they could bring it down a little bit here, right? And then they talk it back up again in their earnings. So so that could be interesting. Yeah, I mean, in general, I would just be careful here and just see how much they pull it back. Like, see if we can retest some of it, like maybe fill this gap, and then look for maybe an earnings run on it. And what else? Beyond. Yeah, so Beyond I'm actually starting to like here as a potential swing. I'm gonna put this on the bullish watch list for tomorrow. It's starting to hold up pretty well. I mean, in general, it's kind of getting almost closed over this kind of minor pivot right here. So tomorrow, if it could get above that, we might be able to see it kind of at least work its way up into the cloud. So that is a possibility too. So nice stuff. All right, Shirley's got a few. So let's see. Comcast, CMCSA. Okay, good. Looking bullish with that measured move up, sideways up. All right, so you get that. And then here we have this. Okay, so it is holding its trend right there, so that's looking good. EWZ. Brazil, fantastic. Occasionally we get our Brazilian friends in here. Here, hello. There, minor pivots, lots of little gappies up. So this is kind of doing what I'm thinking Beyond might try to get to. Might try to get up into that cloud and then start to work its way up. So so just kind of keep an eye on this. It's looking pretty bullish, Shirley. Okay, good. GGB. And by the way, congratulations on Apple and Boeing. GGB. Nice trend line here. Minor pivot, closed above it here. Makes for a good swing. Up, down, test, and up. Build the gap. Good. OSTK. Oh, wow. Wow, Overstock was bullish today. Goodness. No kidding. Let's look at the 5-minute chart and see what it did today. Is that today's price action? Wow. That was tricky. That was a tricky price action today, I tell you. Amazing stuff. Okay, so there's the but yeah, big move today. It could get us some falls. Just be careful of that topping tail up there. BX, Blackstone Group. Rising wedge maybe. Possibly. It's kind of getting out of it a little bit. Just be careful up there. But yeah, starting to show some bullish behavior. ARDX. Nice. A little penny stock, but kind of still holding this trend line, so that's good. And then MDT. MDT is one, if it's up there, is one we probably should have. Yeah, interesting how like it had a big gap up on earnings and just has been chopping around for such a long time, and then it finally went down, hammer, and then worked its way back up. Just be careful with this one at these levels, right? So big top and tail here, closing gap below. So just be careful of MDT. But other than that, yeah, everything's looking pretty good. Harvey cost, yeah, we just took a little glance at that, but let's take another look at it. Maybe we could look at it with a different chart here and see. Yeah. So we can kind of see with cost. I know it's a mess, guys. Sorry, I don't know why it keeps on defaulting like this. I need studies. Let me edit this 1 second here. There, new. There. Clear that chart a little bit. There we go. Then we'll edit the side so we can see a little bit more. Get it centered. Time axis, we'll do 100. Okay, good. All right, so there we go. So there's Costco. I mean, overall the trend is up, right? Overall the trend is up here. It's kind of the overall trend. It had a little bit of a bump, right? Tried to do a run but couldn't do it. Consolidated, worked its way back up. Big gap up on the news. Came back a little bit, a little dividend type action, right? And worked its way up to those highs. And so there we go. So we have this activate. There's your high. There's your trend line. So it did start to break down, right? Here's your minor pivot there. Held below it, and then once that broke down, that gave a pusher there. So inside day down. I mean, honestly, as much as I want to be bullish on Costco, they might push this down for the recession if you're seeing this. Possible short on Costco. There on the inside day down. I'm not afraid to put that on the list. Sometimes it's nice to look at it from a couple different perspectives. So that's good. Nice, Harvey. Session SDC. Let's take a look. Oh, this is a new release today, right? Yeah, it didn't do so good. Open and see ya. I mean, I tell you, these IPOs, Smile Direct Club. Yeah, we'll see how well that works out. We should ask Pierre about that one. He's a dentist, so we'll see what he thinks about those mailing straighteners. SMDC4S tomorrow is full moon plus Friday the 13th plus ES, etc. becomes December front month in TOS. So there you go, all that good stuff combined. So bullish, right? So we'll see how that goes. Sunday 6 p.m. Roast the host. That's right. Thank you, Netfry. Thomas UNH. Nice. Let's take a look. Here, there, bullish. I mean, basically, it did what Facebook did. It kind of came back and retested the trend line. You can see Facebook here too. Not on this chart. There. So it's kind of holding trend. So UNH is holding trend as well. They're very, very similar. Just wanted to point that out. So we'll see how that holds there. It's going next dividend tomorrow. Just be careful of that. Might be a buy the dip opportunity. So, but a lot of these insurers and healthcare ones have been pretty strong recently. So good stuff on that. Experience and thoughts. Etsy quietly moving back up. Nice. Let's take a look. Yeah, it is. Nice little gap up today too. A little topping tail off the upper Bollinger Band here on the daily. So just keep that in mind. But other than that, yeah. Close. This is actually a good idea. This is why if you have that short. Now Etsy is like kind of one of the, I think it's one of the heaviest weighted ones on IWM, and so when you watch these stocks, sometimes you see them move up, like you said, quietly. But like, when you trace these things and you put these trend lines on here, it's like, oh, there's your minor pivot. That closed above it. Not a bad swing long off of that yesterday, right? I mean, that's a pretty good move, right? I mean, just to kind of show you what the options did there was that. So it's like .etsy. Let's say yesterday, let's say we looked at the 55s, right? I mean, so you swung based on closing over that minor pivot, right here at the end of the day at 53 cents, all the way up to $1.80 today, more than a double on Etsy. So a little sneaky, but I mean, when you see that, guys, when you see these downward trend lines and you see a nice close above it, like that's what I'm looking for on Beyond, for instance. You can take a look at some out of the monies for some fun, right? For a little lotto fun on it, so it's something to keep an eye on. Nice experience and thoughts. SNDC for us, LMT. And TRN strong with NOC. Yep, exactly. LMT. Yep, nice. Little doji sandwich up. And TRN. Trinity Industries, nice. Wow, that has been strong, super strong. Inside bar too, over the cloud. You gotta like that. A little bit of a cup and handle. Possibly. Let's keep an eye on that one. Experience and thoughts, Baba. Nice. It's been tricky, right? We had our little swing idea here, a week or so ago. It kind of moved up a little bit, and then kind of came back in. Their CEO resigned, kind of a doji, stepped back up. Still having trouble getting over this level right here. So look for a close over that level, like something, like a hammer or something like that, or a nice bar, like Etsy did over this prior high, and then we could see a little bit of a move up. But I'm looking at was that 1, 2, 3 little circles, right? So that's like 3 rising valleys, right? 1, 2, 3 rising valleys, and then it's a bullish chart pattern potentially. Did we lose my screen? You guys see okay? I feel like we lost the screen there. I don't know if I lost it or not. I can kind of see it. I just can't see it through the YouTube. You lost it? Where'd it go? You're good? Oh, you can see it? Okay, I just can't see it on mine. It's all like blacked out. So, okay, cool. Maybe I'll just refresh it. Maybe I won't. If you guys see it, it's fine. We're good. Kitty's Corner, what's happening? That's so cute. All right, Amazon. Yeah, let's take a look. All right, so Amazon is SMDC4S Thor's twins. So it could work its way in there. So here we go. So we have this minor pivot here. Had trouble closing above it, gapped above it, which shows some strength. Coming back down, fills the gap, right, and then does this crazy nonsense right here. Amazon's been really, really tricky. Best left for day trading only right now until it can establish some sort of continuity. It's been really, really messy right here. So this could be like a 1, 2, maybe it's starting to work on a 3, right? Could work its way up there. So I would just focus on kind of the day trading side of it right now. I think eventually it'll get back up, fill this gap, and kind of do that thing. But it's got some work to do. It's been very, very tricky. Mike, what's up? Peace, man. Wendy, good morning. Tesla, BAGS. Yeah, so Tesla. Yeah, Tesla, just be careful with Tesla, Wendy. So it got into the gap today, right, which is awesome. It had some really strong days right here, and then it gave you a top and tail off of it, right? So, and it did it so fast that it was very, very tricky today, very, very fast. And then it came back in, right, gave you a little shooting star right here. So it's actually pretty bearish, kind of going into tomorrow, just based on the chart, the price action there. BA. Same thing, I believe. Yeah, almost. Is this dark cloud cover? It's pretty close. I don't know if that's 50% of the range, but it's pretty darn close right there. So just be careful with that Boeing 2 little dark cloud cover. Both Boeing and Tesla had some epic runs up the last couple days, and some bearish candles today. So just be careful with that. GS. Yeah, gosh, these financials have been so strong. I almost wanted to talk about the financials tonight, and then I opted for McDonald's just to kind of share with you the triple inside 60. Now, just remember with those triple inside 60s that you want that to be at the aggregate of the 9:30 bar. Some folks, if you have your mobile version of the 60, it starts at 9 o'clock. It doesn't give you that full market data, that you really want in there. It gives you that pre-market stuff, which is fine, but it just doesn't work quite the same. So from what I've noticed in my testing of it. So yeah, so Goldman looking pretty good. Just giving that top and tail right there. It's not showing really too much strength, but in general, lots of green days here, kind of moving up. So, it might get a little exhausted here too. So there's 3 charts, Wendy, that you gave that have a little bit of a kind of a bearish potential to it. So, good stuff. Oh, make sure my screen's coming through. Okay, good. Yeah, I can see it. I just refreshed it. So, it's just my refreshing. So, Dimitri, what's happening? Yeah, let's take a look at shop. Shop till you drop. Okay, so amazing stuff, guys. We talked about this yesterday, right? Inside day yesterday. I don't think it actually filled the gap, 350.70, and then nope, didn't quite even fill the gap. So it gapped up today, right, back into the channel. So it's that's kind of what you want, right? So they had these 2 bearish days, and it's back in here. So who knows? It might come down, fill that gap a little bit, then come back in again, or it might just say, "See a gap, we'll deal with you in a couple weeks," right? So, but it's back in the channel. So back in the channel again. Back in the channel again, right? Harvey forgot BA? Yeah, so we just took a look at that a second ago here, but we'll look at it on another angle. I need to do the calculation. Oh, we could do this real quick. Let's just do this. So let's do this. Okay, let's grab a fib. Oop. There to there, yeah. Dark cloud cover, you see that the real body closes within 50% of the range of the entire candle here. So dark cloud cover on Boeing. So scary. So that's definitely something to consider too going into tomorrow. We could look at it this way too, real quick. Yeah, I mean in general. Here, put in a recent high, activate there. I mean, it's still holding trend, right? So, but if anything, it might want to retest kind of that 368 level. Just keep that in mind as well. And what else? SEC for us? Yes, we good? Oh, yeah, good. Thank you, JK. Session, how do I change it to be the past 9:30? So you can't do it on TOS mobile. It just won't let you do it. At least the recent update I saw. But to do it here, you go to settings, and I know you won't be able to see it here, but you go to settings and you go to equities, I believe. Wait, no, that's the other one. Appearance option. I've almost forgotten now. Hold on, it's somewhere. Price access now. Showtime subgraph. Where is it? Maybe it is equities. Yeah. So if you go settings and then equities, the tab there, all the way at the bottom, it says access and it has time. It says show extended. Here, I can show you what this looks like. Here, let me pull it up real quick on the broadcaster. Let me do this. Give me 1 second. Let me see if I can zoom that in here. Somewhere it's going to have an edit. I've got so many windows. Active spreadsheets. Hold on. Thinkorswim. Watch list. I don't see that with chart settings right there. Okay, so here it is. Okay, so right there when you hit settings, you go to equities, and then at the bottom, start aggregation at market open. Okay, so that'll start you at 9:30 right there. Good? Okay, cool. Good. NetPry, any hope on a JP Morgan breakout? That's a great question. I mean, haven't these already been kind of breaking out? Well, they haven't broken out yet, but let's take a look. Let's see. I mean, it's already doing pretty good here. There it is, 119.24. It's got to get to. I mean, it's trying, right? It's just got to get over all these little pivots, and then I get some buyers stepping up some volume and all that. So, I mean, it's possible, but it's just they're being pretty sneaky with these things. Let's take a look. Yeah, I mean, it is super bullish, right? You got this W right here. I mean, it just got to tag that. So maybe over today's highs, NetFry. It could happen. JK, HD. Yeah, HD had an okay day today. It's kind of been calming down a little bit after the hurricane rally, which is pretty fun, and then just kind of calmed down. Still holding trend, so that's looking good. Just a little topping tail today. We'll see. It might go sideways tomorrow, and it's kind of work its way back to the trend line. WDC also looking pretty good. You know, a little pause day today again, but might give a move. And AA. Yeah, AA is looking good. Look at that. Look at that 2B reversal right here. Down, lower low. This is the piercing bar over this level is good. Oh, retested it and then back up. See, when you swing stocks, it loves to do this. Okay, is this going to go up? It's going to go up. Nope. Oh, your stop's down there. See ya, right? So you got to be real careful with that, right? And then it makes it look real bearish. It's red, right? Doji, and all, and then see it, and then it goes, right? It's the hardest part about swinging. It's the hardest part about trading. Manoj, Avgo. Yeah, didn't they have like some earnings like tonight? Yeah. So let's take a look and see how that looks here after hours. Down a little bit, a little choppy here, so not seeing too much craziness on it, right? No real gap and go on that one. Oh, and then Starbucks. Take a look at S-Bucks. Yeah, topping tail right there. Too bad. I mean, it was a good buy the dip opportunity, but it might be doing what we were just talking about. But just, you know, if you swing right here on that inside, it might kind of fill a little bit, kind of give it one, and then start to go. But look how sideways it was after that big earnings gap, which is good, guys. I mean, this is not a horrible thing, right? I mean, this thing ran so much for so long, right? And then it's sideways for a while, then up, sideways for a while, then up, right? Sideways for a while, and down, and then up, maybe. It's got to hit 100. It's got to get there somehow, right? At some point, we'll see. Uzi, Google, Amazon. Google had a little bit of a day today. A little nasty little stock to trade. I don't even really track this thing anymore, but it did have a busy morning, so nice up morning, then kind of sideways for the rest of the day. But yeah, a little topping tail right here, having resistance. So just be careful up there. Might pull back a little bit again. And then Amazon we just looked at. Amazon's been really tough to track. Tough to follow. Just up, down. I mean, this could be that little bar right there, and then this just works its way all the way back up. So we'll have to see. Harvey, great teacher and person. Oh, thanks, man. You're the best. Appreciate it. Uzi, hope you had a great day. Unlike me, you got shaken out of Google, and then it ran. Oh, I'm sorry, Uzi. Man. I mean, Uzi, that's why I don't even have Google on the go-to list anymore. I mean, it's no longer a FANG stock. I just don't. It's just too tough, man. And if you're trading it with options, I mean, it's just been awful all year. I mean, it doesn't get a lot of volume anymore. I mean, it trades worse than like small. I mean, Lulu. I mean, it's horrifying. I mean, look at this. Look at these spreads. $4. I mean, it's been a mess. Too bad. It used to be fun to trade, but it just kind of fell off. So sorry, man. Sean, what's happening? Oh, there's Planet Fitness. Let's take a look. Let's find something good about this thing somewhere. All right, well, it had earnings, right? So earnings were pretty good. Now, this is a little trick, right? We talked about this, right? So, you have earnings. If it, you gap down on earnings, but it ends up green, next day you usually get a little move, okay? Then it came back down, right? And then worked its way back up, and it's down again. So, I mean, I would imagine it does okay, right? I still see people at the Planet Fitness around here all the time. Yeah, really, really close. Little minor pivot today. Possible push. You had an inside day yesterday. So push over today's high could give it a little boost. It might work its way to that gap there a little bit. So, a little downgrade gap, I think. Mike, GDXJ. Let's take a look. Bearish, bearish engulfing basically, but yeah. Little M here. We started with McDonald's today. We finished with the little da 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 right there. So we'll see. I mean, it's bearish. It's kind of pushing into the cloud right now. It might try to work its way back down there. It's got a little bit of support here, right? Little closing gap here, right? So it could be interesting. Again, but then again over today's highs. could work it back up out of the cloud. So one tweet away from money flowing back into the gold sector, right? So anyway, good stuff. Great charts tonight, guys. Awesome stuff. Appreciate everybody tuning in. It's Thursday. I know, yeah, tricky bearish engulfing. It's Thursday, so tomorrow's Friday. So just keep in mind with your option and expiration and all that stuff. Very, very important stuff. And then be sure to tune in on Sunday night at 6 o'clock Eastern time. We'll be doing a webinar with TrendSpider. We're going to check out some raindrop charts and show how there's probably something different than everybody else uses them for. I'm going to show you how they work with how they help with options. So good stuff there. So MTNVR, my pleasure, man. Thank you, Camille. Hey, what's going on? Yeah, we'll take a look at that real quick. ADSK. ADSK is another one that's really tough to trade, like Google, right? Yeah, just be careful with this, Camille. You have this topping tail right here at the cloud, right? Little southern doji, Just be careful with that, right? Hit some major resistance right there. Okay, so just be careful with that. So that's what I say. But if it does break out, right, consolidates in here and then eventually gets above that 160 level, then you can see a pop on it. So that's possible too. So good stuff. Yeah, no, I know, Harvey. The first one he did, they had it wrong on that. It's 4 Mountain Time, and they typed it in wrong, so it's definitely 6. It's definitely 6 o'clock. Because like when I saw it too, I was like, really? I thought we were doing it at 6, right? Don't you think you want to let me know first, or if I'm like the guest, right? But anyway, so yes, it's 6 o'clock on Sunday, Eastern time, New York time, Boston time, Florida time. Good stuff. North Carolina time. South Carolina time. What's up? All right, good. Yeah, definitely 6 o'clock. So good. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your evening. If you guys are new here, definitely subscribe on YouTube. Check out the description. Right, we got some cool links to Twitter. We put charts up and have a lot of fun and all that stuff. And positivetrends.com is fun too. So, all right, guys. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and remember your risk first, and stay safe so you can stay in the game. And I'll talk to you guys soon.